Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Becoming Monsters Beyond the Dark. I'm your host, Nighthawk, and for the next 45 minutes or so, I'm going to be putting you all through some very rigorous pictures and stuff that I've gathered to see if you can determine whether they're fake or whether they're real. Okay? And I decided to do this podcast because of all the basic fakery that's going around on the social media sites, especially Facebook, or I should say Fakebook. Anyways, copyright disclaimer is this channel may use some copyrighted materials without specific authorization of the owner, but contents that it falls under the Fair Use Act. Okay. Nighthawk High Strange, this podcast channel, and William Nighthawk do declare fair use of any and all content, including the music, to be used for the sole purpose of informing you, the viewing family, of information for educational purposes, criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, research, parody, and entertainment only, per Title 17 USC subsection 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, otherwise known here as the Fair Use Act. Okay, that being said, we're going to get right into it. I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving today. I hope everybody had a marvelous Thanksgiving. And, I hope you ate your fill of turkey and you got the tryptophan OD and all that. And crashed on the couch and, did the whole thing, watching TV and falling asleep, that whole routine. I was talking to a brother of mine earlier on Facebook, and I asked him, I said, have you ever noticed that all the depictions of the happy Thanksgivings and stuff, the first one show the pilgrims handing out all the food and all that, and the natives just sitting around doing nothing. Well, it was more the opposite of that. If it wasn't for the Native Americans on Thanksgiving, the pilgrims would have starved to death that first winter. So the natives were the ones that brought the food, not the pilgrims. But they always, history always dictates the way they want it done and remembered. So we got to keep that in mind. The powers that be want to lie to us all the time. All right. Anyways, that being said, I'm going to pop up some pictures here. I'm going to go through a different way on it here. We're going to go over a couple different things that have been recently making it into the social media hype. A lot of these cryptids are real cryptids, but they don't get much attention. Okay, so we're gonna enlighten some of you right now on some of this. Take for instance the mantis, the praying mantis figure, that the being that everybody's been supposedly seeing. Looks almost exactly like a praying mantis, mandibles and all. There hasn't been too many reports of it being aggressive. The reports that I've seen and that I've researched and investigated have shown it to just basically teleport in through a portal and teleport out, and basically like checking in and then checking out. So there have been some reports of it actually chasing people, but I'm not putting too much value in that right now, to tell you the truth. Then we have the next one to talk about. Is this is a, believe it or not, this is a European myth, okay, and legend or whatever you want to call it here, okay. It's Ratman, okay. No, it's not Splinter from the Ninja Turtles, although it does kind of look like Splinter, but it's called the Ratman, and it has been seen all over Europe, actually. From like the Philippines on over into the UK. It's usually seen inside tunnels or warehouses. who knows? Maybe it's people's imagination getting away with them, or maybe some nefarious government agency, three-letter agency, decided to mix the DNA of a human and a rat. You never know. So the next one is something that I probably would never see this because I would never be able to imagine this. This next one is called Squatchopus. Okay, yes, I said Squatchopus. It is supposed to be part Sasquatch and part octopus. Looks like something out of Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, it does. It really does. I can't hold too much faith in sightings of this. I think this is more people's imagination getting away with them, or maybe somebody did see a Sasquatch eating an octopus. I mean, you never know. They eat clams, so why not octopi? Okay. Here's another depiction of it. But I don't hold too much faith in this one, although there have been several sightings of it on the West Coast. Yes, Squatchopus. I don't know. I guess if it is real, I wouldn't want to run into it in a dark alley. That's for sure. Okay, so there's that one. All right. Now, when you see something like this next picture, which was caught on a trail cam, what comes to mind? I think that's fascinating. Now, what comes to mind to me is that it is a big raptor-looking bird, whether it's an owl or whether it's like a golden eagle or something. Obviously, it is a very big bird. It's not human. It's not half human. This has been going around the internet as moth man, as this, that, and the other thing. Clearly, you can see it's got a beak. Okay. Clearly, you can see it has no arms. It has wings. Okay. And it's got two legs. Yes, the legs are probably a little muscular because of its size of the bird. I mean, the bird's got to be able to sustain its weight while standing up. So those leg muscles, those talons are going to be pretty huge because they're going to be getting a workout every day. So, but that is not a Mothman. That is not an unknown cryptid. Okay. That is a bird of prey, plain and simple. Okay. So let's just leave that at that. Now, there's a couple other things that, and fakery with the internet and stuff, and everybody's saying, oh, my friend sent me this trail cam picture, and I can't wait to see what somebody says about it. Well, you know what? Somebody's going to say something about it. Okay. Again, this picture has been floating around, and this person claims this was posted by the Mysterious Creatures Facebook page from a trail camera in the UK. Can't wait to see what skeptics are going to say about this one. Well, you know what? Being Native American, I grew up in the cryptid world with all the legends and stuff. I'm sorry to break it to you, but this is AI. This is not something that some mysterious Facebook group set out to put out there to say that they used their trail cameras to take a picture of this. This is AI, okay? And that's all this is. This is not a dog man. This is this is straight AI, okay? And the first part about that is you take a look at the front legs of this so-called cryptid, okay? I'm sorry, I hate to break it to you. This is not a legitimate trail cam picture, okay? And the research that I found is that it's not, and there's others out there that have researched it too. Here's another one, Matthew Knapp. Matthew he's seen this one floating around all day, instantly recognized it as the obvious AI creation. You should be able to instantly recognize that as well if you can't take 5 minutes and look at the AI and created images. Okay. Now, he's got a point. You can go to AI and bring up created images, and you can find images like this. But then again, you're dealing with AI. You don't know if you're going to get the whole truth either. But there's that. I really wish that we could all get on the same page and question everything. Just because somebody posts something in a Facebook group doesn't necessarily make it factual or real or truthful. So let's kind of take a step back, like Matthew says, and just reevaluate things. Okay. Now there are some pictures on here I'm going to be bringing up that are not fake. Here's one of my favorites. Okay. And I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but this was a camera shot. And if you look on the side of the tree there, you'll see a face looking out from behind the tree. And it's a gray looking, pale type of a face. Okay. This it was taken in a cemetery. Okay. I tracked this down. This was taken in a cemetery, and I believe the cemetery was in the UK. Okay. This is a legitimate photo. Now, whether it's somebody standing behind the tree that put gray paint on their face to make them look ghostly so they can scare the crap out of their friends, that could be a possibility. All I'm saying is that this actual photograph is real. Okay. I'm not saying that the image in it is real, just that the photograph is actually a legitimate photograph. Okay. Just like this one with the supposed giants. Okay. The distance that this shot was taken at, and you look at the height of those four characters, the one in the center being the shortest, those, my friends, are some mighty, mighty tall people. Now, giants have been in mythology and in Native American legends for thousands upon thousands of years. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you the old legends. Fire was stolen from the giants. So, by the animals and by Native Americans. So, working together. So, it's amazing how old these legends are. Okay. But that's just that picture amazes me. And no, those aren't trees. This is actually a video that's going around. And I've actually watched the entire video and found it online. And it is fascinating. This is just a still shot that I captured from the video. But yeah, this is an amazing video if you get a chance to see it. It really is. And it's not AI or anything like that. It's actually a legitimate video. So the next picture, this one kind of creeped me out. And I got to tell you, I don't get creeped out very much. Okay. I really don't. I don't get creeped out. I'm not one to get scared. I'm not one to go hide. I'm not one to jump out of my shoes if somebody jumps out at me. I'm one to more swing at you and knock you down and knock you out than anything. So, but let's see. That's why people don't play pranks on me. But here, I want to bring this up. This is really, really cool. Now, if you look at this image, it's a picture of something staring through a board opening in a window that's been boarded up in an old house. Okay. Now, chasing this picture down, it is not AI. It's an actually legitimate picture. Somebody took it with their own camera, and it shows the two glowing eyes, as you can see, in the center of the circle. Okay. And you can make out the bottom opening there, at the bottom far right opening on the picture of the circle, right next to the edge of the circle. You can make out the image of like a limb or something that it's using to lean against so they can take and look in sideways at the window. This was very, very, very disturbing to me. It really was. This is kind of that haunted house kind of a creepy vibe. You know, the old Scooby Doo house where you go inside and you start to cause chaos with the spirits, and the spirits get upset and they start, you know, making noises and threats and try to scare you out of there. That's the kind of vibe this thing's putting off. But yeah, this is very fascinating, and it is a legitimate photograph. I will say that. Um, so that's 3 out of 5 that are legitimate so far. Okay. The next photograph was taken from a trail cam. Okay. And obviously, I'm more disturbed at this image than anything. Okay. To me, there's really nothing mysterious about this other than that this animal looks like it's coming down with mange. Okay. Mange is a terrible, terrible disease that it's caused by these microscopic mites. Usually starts with the ear, the dog's itching the ears, and then it goes to the skin. And, they scratch so much that they rip their own hair out. And I've seen dogs scratch themselves so much that they almost scratch their innards to fall out because they cut themselves with their claws. Okay. That's how bad this is. Mange, I wouldn't wish on any animal, wild or domestic. Okay, it's a nasty, nasty disease, and I do believe that this is just a simple timber wolf, maybe even a hybrid wolf coyote that is coming down with mange. First off, the shoulders aren't that wide; they're more, they're more regular size for a coyote or a wolf in size. So, um, you know, every animal's eyes glow. Okay. Majority of animals that you're going to run into are gonna glow either yellow or green eyes. Okay. Just so you know, it's just a matter of fact. Okay. But yeah, I feel sorry for this animal. This is probably the onset of mange. Okay. Now this next one, um, I don't even know where to begin with this next one. This next one, I believe, is AI generated. Okay, because you can go right to the AI illustrator and you can have them mock up something exactly like that. Trying to chase this one down is like pulling teeth because nobody wants to admit to it. So, um, my guess is that just the effects and that it just seems like the subject itself is more lit up than the surrounding area that it's standing in. Supposedly, it's just AI. It's just my initial gut reaction is AI on this one. Because you're talking, you would have to have the perfect trail camera to get that clear and crisp of a picture in a nighttime when everybody else is getting blob squatches and just smears on their screens. This person is getting a beautifully clear, lit up cryptid creature. No, I'm sorry, I don't believe it. Not for one instance, and I hope you don't either. This next photograph, this is a legitimate photograph. I'm blown away at this. Okay. This is generated. Okay. The being in this picture is the same figure over and over again, just at different sizes and at different angles. And the chemtrails in the background are put there to kind of make it look like it's not fake. Okay, so bear with me on this one, but this one is questionable. Um, this one comes from over in Europe. I'm not going to say which country because I don't want to be having my sound cut out. but this one comes from over in Europe. So you can probably guess which country it comes from just by looking at the fence and the castle in the background and all that. So, but obviously someone's trying to make it look like either there's three vampires flying around or three humanoid flying humans. And we all know that we have an innate ability to do things that most of us have forgotten to do, and that is levitate. Okay, is one of them, and we all have the ability to levitate. We just don't have the ability to calm our mind enough to focus it enough to levitate. Okay, that's the biggie. All right. It's like I've always told you guys, it comes down to your imagination. If you can imagine something and you can see it, you can feel it, you can smell it, you can taste it. Okay. You can make that imaginary thing come to life. Okay. I've told you that from the beginning, and I'll tell you that till I'm dead. Okay. Which, knock on wood, hopefully isn't very soon. But yeah, this one it's good. It's really good, but I highly question this. So I'm gonna mark this probably 50-50. Okay, because the what I found out about it was that it's all just generated backgrounds and stuff like that to make these people look like they're flying. So that being said, this next one here is real. Okay, I found this one, and this one will freak you out. Yes, it is real. Doesn't it look like an anorexic mange Bigfoot? I mean, you talk about a quarter pounder with cheese. That'd be this thing. I'm sorry, I don't mean to say it that way, but this thing's all of about a quarter of a pound, maybe 7 feet tall, 6 feet tall. It looks like a Bigfoot with mange that I don't know doesn't get enough to eat. So, but it's a legitimate photograph. That's the thing. Okay. Um, and when you compare it with the background and you do the shadowing effects and everything, you can conclude it yourself that it's real. um I'm at 90% on this right now being real. Okay, I've put it through the motions on my computer, and the shadowing is spot on. The plant life where it was said to be taken at is spot on, so the terrain is spot on. So I, i'm I'm right about 90% saying that this is legitimate completely. So, but I'm still doubting it about 10%. So, but if it is fake, it is probably one of the best ones I've seen because, you know, look at the knees. Okay. You can always conclude the knee joint. Okay. So, all right. All right. So let's see here. Let's go to the next one. Let's see. We have this one. Now, this one I highly doubt is real, but I'm just going to leave it up to you guys. I haven't really investigated this one at all, but I'm going to leave it up to you guys in the chat to determine whether this is real or not with the three aliens. Um, these aren't the ones from Argentina, the face eaters or whatever they call them. So don't get this misconstrued with that whole thing that happened down there in South America recently. Okay. Um, this one, I don't even know where it comes from, but it's they're claiming that it's legitimate. I'm guessing it comes from Mexico or Panama or somewhere around down there. Um, it's not from the the, the United States or Canada. But it's definitely good quality. But I just, I can't get into the whole it's real type of a thing. It's too detailed. The whole area is lit up like they got a spotlight shining at them. Okay, so to me it's fake, but that's just my opinion. Okay, here's another one. Okay, now these are legitimate pictures. Okay, these aren't the same beings. Okay, they're not the same. You got an alien looking thing over here with the melon head, and the big black dark eyes. Then you got like a humanoid crawler here, gray crawler, pale crawler, whatever you want to call it. Okay, these photographs are legit. Um, I'm not going to say where they're from because I don't want to disclose it because it was a military guy that took these pictures. And let me see, what else do I got here? I think that is it for the actual pictures, other than what I want to show you now. I have been doing a lot of research on giants lately. Now, the one thing that you all have got to realize is, and I'm sure a lot of you do realize this, is that the Smithsonian and everything out there, when it comes down to it, you can't cover up proof in the environment. Okay. Proof in the environment, which, aired. Okay. Like the footprints. That's a big footprint. That's got to be at least a 4 foot long footprint. Okay. Here's another big footprint. Look at the size of the guy in the picture. Okay. So anybody that says giants didn't exist, I'm sorry, you're being fooled, because what I believe happened throughout history, giants existed. Okay. Now you see this picture here where it goes from normal height of a human to a giant. Okay. Okay. Picture this in reverse. Okay. Say we're at the 6 foot stage of mankind. Tall. Okay. I believe that we, as a human hybrid with Anunnaki blood, um, I believe we were a lot taller in the days of the Bible. Okay. It was said that Moses was 15 feet tall. It was said that Gilgamesh was over 13 feet tall. Okay. So we were giants in the beginning. And somehow we have been genetically manipulated, whether it's through our food that we're consuming and all the preservatives in it and all the chemicals in it and the dyes and red dyes and the yellow dyes and the blue dyes that cause cancer, that we were all giants to begin with. It would make more sense to me. And that's why we periodically have people that are 7 to 8 feet, almost 9 feet tall. like this gentleman here who passed away at the age of 23 that had gigantism disease. Apparently, his heart couldn't keep up with his blood demand for an entire body. This young man here died at 23 years old, I believe, or 24, and he was 8'6" tall. 8'6". Now, this next set of pictures, I'm gonna leave it up to you. Okay, there's this one. Okay, this is supposedly a real person. He is about 8.5 feet tall, like the other guy, the 24-year-old guy that passed away in the 1920s. So this is a legitimate picture here. But you see what I'm getting at, people? Do you see what I'm getting at? Okay. I believe we were giants in the beginning. And somehow we have been manipulated to get smaller and smaller because we'd be easier to control. How would you like to have 7.8 billion giants running around the world that you couldn't control through fear and intimidation of your military because they're too big to control and too powerful? Or would it make sense that you shrink your people down from space and aliens and, Bigfoot and Dogman, and other scary things that go bump in the night? I really think that we started out as giants. And somehow over time, I feel that our genetics have been messed with to make us smaller and smaller because a smaller package is easier to control through fear. Okay. Unless you're like me and you don't fear anything. Okay. But to me, it would make more sense that we started out. I mean, why do we have these stories of Gilgamesh and Moses being 13 and 15? And there goes my computer with doorways that are 20 feet and 30 feet tall. It doesn't make sense. If we were always this stature, why would we need doorways that big? The Anunnaki aren't using them. They were 20, 25 feet tall. I mean, we're supposed to have been mixed with their DNA. So wouldn't that make us somewhere between 10 to 15 feet tall? So I'm just putting it out there. It's just something to think about. Okay. We all know the Smithsonian lies. Okay. And they've been lying for a very, very long time. So, and I plan on going into the whole gigantic thing here in the very, very near future. Okay. So don't think that this is the end. This is only the beginning of the giants. And I'll even pair it up with biblical accounts. So, oh yeah, Penny. There has been basketball players well over 7 feet tall. There was wrestlers. Andre the Giant was 7'4". Big Show. I think his name is Michael White. He is 7'2". Shaq 7'2". Um, you know, um, Yao Ming. He was 7'6", 7'8", somewhere around there. So yeah, I mean, gigantism is a factual thing. Even in certain non athletics areas of the world, you'll find giants. Just normal people that all of a sudden that genetic gene trait jumped in and said, "Oh, I'm going to make you 8 feet tall." So I honestly think that it's in reverse of that one picture. That we started out as being, these giants, and then we slowly got shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter over time because we were manipulated genetically through food, chemicals, medications. Um, I don't want to say it, but you know what that means. um, there's so many different things, okay, that they can use to genetically manipulate us and to make us smaller. Because remember, small is something that's easier to control. I've always had this theory about us being the ants, and if the ants rebel against that 10%, what are they going to do against 2 billion ants rebelling? Well, they honestly, with weapons and stuff, they probably could take care of it. Okay. But if we were 13, 15, and 20 feet tall at one time, and there was 900 million of us, how do you think they'd control us? Because they couldn't scare us. We're giants, for God's sake. You know, even the weakest of giants could take on 20 guys. You know, um, I honestly think that they manipulated the genetics of our species. Okay, whoever's in control, the shadow government, whatever you want to call them, over time has done that. Okay, and if you look back, everything happens in like 20-year cycles. If you go back, and they do it within like 100-year time frame, 5 20-year cycles. Okay, you'll see, either wars will pop up, um, disease will pop up, famine will pop up. They always have a way to manipulate humanity. Okay, to control humanity. All right. So, but yeah, I do that we started out being like Gilgamesh and Moses being that tall, 13 and 15 feet tall. And I think over time, the powers that be knew that we would be uncontrollable in the near future, and they manipulated us, made us smaller. So that's just a theory. Okay. Um, my own sons, both of my own sons outgrew me. You know, my one son's 6'2" and my other one's 6'7". So, I mean, they both outgrew me. So it just goes to show you how often that can pop up. So, but I thought that was an interesting subject. And we're going to do science. Everybody, uh, I want to say thank you for being here. I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Okay. I hope everybody enjoyed their turkey and their stuffing and whatever else they had. And, had a chance to relax today, kind of unwind, not worry about the world going to crap. Okay. So let me see. Giant All right. Things aren't always what they seem. I mean, I know you all aren't stupid. Okay. I know that for a fact. You guys are very, very smart. Okay. Um, but I do believe that we have been a species that has been genetically manipulated over time and that we started out being the size of Gilgamesh and Moses and some of the other biblical characters of that time and as strong as Samson. Okay. So, that's just my opinion and from what I've gathered over research over several years of studying giants. Um, and we're going to get into that more. I'll have Eric on again sometime soon here in the near future, and we'll get into the discussion of giants. He's in the chat now. So, but I want to say thank you to everybody: Penny, Van, Tombstone, Ozzy Sue, Griff, War Criminal 7. Good to see you. Hope everybody had a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. Prospecting USA. Good to see you. Ozzy Sue, Eric Testerman. Good to see you, brother. Scott's Life. Good to see you. Okay, let me see here. Who else we got in the house? We got Susan Lawrence. Good to see you again. Lily Pond. Good to see you. Okay, I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anybody. So, Roger, good to see you. All right, I think that is everybody. If I missed any, oh, Derek, good to see you. I really do. Been getting over being sick and stuff too. So, it's been very, very unhealthy here at the household. Um, Tracy got it first and then I got it and then the boys got it, the sons got it, and it's just one right after another. And we're still kind of getting over it. So, but things are really, really what they seem by experience. Yes, you are right, Penny. You are absolutely right. And let me tell you something. If the powers to be, whether it's a three-letter agency or whether it's a shadow government, military-industrial complex, control and manipulating us our entire lives and entire thousands upon thousands of generations, have not only tried to dumb us up so we don't remember our abilities of the past, but they shrunk us too. And that is just my opinion from my studies. Okay. So it makes more sense that the easier you control subjects is to make them smaller than the people controlling them. Here, 45 minutes in, I want to keep this a little lower on a lower scale of an hour so I can share it on other multimedia platforms. So I'll be putting this out on Twitch and Twitter and Rumble and all the other ones. So tomorrow night it'll be me and Carlito into the Red Rabbit Hole at 11 o'clock Eastern. Okay, and then of course Saturday and Sunday we'll be on for coffee in the morning. Okay, on the morning show at 10 a.m. or 10:30, 10 or 10:30, somewhere around there. Okay, Eastern time. All right. So everybody, I want you to have a wonderful rest of your evening. You got like 15 minutes to enjoy the rest of the holiday. So enjoy it, relax, enjoy your family time, and we will see you all tomorrow night. Okay. Like, heart, and share this out, everybody, please, if you would. Okay. And subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. We need help. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.